Next, let's talk about the Borealis. Greg Mathis, are you with us?
Yes, thank you, Chair Martinson, and good morning, Commissioners. Thanks for letting me be here today. I'm going to try and keep things pretty short. As you've heard, Amtrak did begin selling tickets yesterday for the new service, which will begin on May 21st. And as you've noted, it's going to be called the Borealis, which means north, and it's going to consist of a locomotive, 4 coaches, and a cafe business class car. I think everybody received the notice, so I won't go into too many more details. I'll defer to Kevin to talk about all updates on the event planning here in the Twin Cities. Just want to say thank you for all your help over the last many years to get this going. We appreciate all your support on this.
The next item on the agenda is a discussion on inaugural. It's called TCMC in your agenda, but it's inaugural Borealis and planning. County staff and Jeff Daler PR have been working with the states, have been working with Amtrak, and been working with Red Wing, Winona Lacrosse to get set up for an inaugural celebration of the train as it makes its first run out of St. Paul. It'll also be making its first run out of Chicago at the same time, so the 2 trains will be meeting each other at some point along the route. But the first train coming out of St. Paul, we're looking to have a celebration at Union Depot. Plans are still being formed, being put together, but it tends to have the Union Depot platform will be available. It'll be open to the public. We'll have some refreshments and things in the waiting room. You can come into Union Depot, go through the waiting room, go through gate C to get to the train. You can go down to the platform and see the train. It'll be there ready to go. Early in the morning, maybe 9 o'clock-ish, something like that, 9 or so in the morning. People can walk through the train, you can see the coach cars. Amtrak staff will be there to answer questions and point things out. And then around 10:30-ish or so, we'll try to round everybody up, bring them back into the waiting room. We'll have sort of a program, sort of a few speakers. We've invited people from the congressional delegation, our senators and representatives. Chair Chair Martinson and Ortega will be kind of emceeing the event, introducing speakers. We'll have a podium there and little announcements and speeches, things like that. Lots of people there celebrating the train. Then around 11:30 or so, we'll board the train. The passengers, the fare-paying passengers will go on first, and then people have been invited to join the train and ride the train. You can go on next. And Amtrak is saving about 70 seats in one of the cars for people who'd like to ride. And you don't have to ride all the way to Chicago, obviously. You could ride, if you want to come up from Lake City, you can come up from Lake City, ride the train down, get off at either Red Wing, Winona, and then you'd be on your own to find your way back. Amtrak will set aside seats. You do need to pay for your own seat, buy your own ticket. Being local elected officials, they can't count you for that, and you probably have your own rules against that as well. We're inviting media, we're inviting press to the depot before the train leaves, so they can conduct interviews. They can meet with people who helped get the train started, get it running, put together a newspaper article for us, things like that. We're still working out all the details, and we'll have more meetings with the other communities, but that's generally the plan. And the train it's going to be a revenue service train, so they're going to try to stay on time. We understand that there'll probably be delays with, taking pictures and things like that. I'm sure Amtrak staff will be on the trains trying to do both, trying to get good press in your communities all the way out to Chicago, and at the same time trying to keep it on schedule too.
Kevin, can you just say more if folks from the commission do want to ride, and are you keeping a list of names so we know who's doing it? What's the logistics there? And I see Derek has just popped on. Maybe he wants to answer that question. Hi, Derek.
Kevin, unless you want to, the invitations should be going out tomorrow. Okay. And the invitation includes a number and an email address for our staff at Amtrak. We'll be keeping a master list of everybody who is riding as part of the inaugural festivities, and as well as what their origins and destinations are. And so we will certainly we have a regular meeting every week where we are discussing this, and we will certainly be sharing that and updating the interested parties on who's riding. We're also, just so you know, I know that we don't want to be in violation of any state ethics laws. Probably in the state of Wisconsin, those elected officials, we'll take your credit card information to charge you the lowest available fare in the state of Minnesota. But we're not, that's because of ethics laws in the state. Normally with these sorts of events, it's a special event, and so we just let dignitaries ride.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thanks, Derek.
Everybody on the commission is on the list.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. It's big news and big excitement. So long-awaited event that we're all really excited about. Okay, then we're going to turn to Jeff Daler on public advocacy. And you've been busy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chair and members. Again, I'm Jeff Daler. I'm the Public Outreach Coordinator for the consultant for the Great River Rail Commission. As usual, you can find a report on what we were working on the last couple of months in the packet on page 10. And I'll do a brief little bit of what we have been looking at, and then I'll also give you a little bit of a preview of what we'll be working on over the course of the next month or two. So most of our work, again, has been focused around simply planning for the start date. And so it's been wonderful to, I share the excitement with you that we actually are going to see this service come into existence here on the 21st of May. We're really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in person on that train. The planning work that we have done is mainly focused on preparing materials and working with the business roundtable groups to figure out how we can not just support the train on day one for events at each of the stations, but also to support the train ongoing. And so shifting our focus from essentially communicating with decision makers in St. Paul about funding this train to now communicating with residents of Minnesota and residents outside of Minnesota to not only take this train to wherever along the line you want to go, but especially to come and visit our great communities along the Mississippi River route from St. Paul through Red Wing and Winona and La Crosse. An example of how we're helping to support folks that are local in each of the station cities of La Crosse, Winona, and Red Wing is first just coordinating, helping to get ideas around what does that day one presentation or event look like. How can we build riding the train into some kind of event that occurs? And so those plans are not finalized. We'll be meeting again shortly with each of the station cities to figure out more about what that looks like, and there will be plenty of communication that goes out to media, to residents in the areas, and then to the commission about what does that look like. And an example of what ongoing support could look like is a not yet finalized but proposal from the Minnesota Marine Art Museum to offer in a 3-month promotional campaign free admission to the museum with proof of purchase of a ticket on Amtrak. There are other businesses that can look at that as an example of what you could do to help to support getting people on trains and getting people to these great destinations in the river route. So we're looking to, when we think about past day one, day two through years and years down the line, what can the Great River Rail Commission do to help support these communities who want to bring people to their areas? When you think about the switch in messaging from working directly with communicating with legislators to now working with the community to see what the benefits are, our website is going to undergo a major transformation from focusing on the audience of the legislature now focusing on the audience of potential passengers. And so by the end of the week, this week, that's tomorrow, we'll have phase 1 of that website updated. and then continuing phases in the future to update things. There will be a logo for the Amtrak Borealis service eventually. MnDOT is putting that together. There will be a set of brand guidelines that go with that, and so a toolkit of fact sheets, logos, photographs of the train will all be able to be distributed to the roundtables to help promote the service and have consistent visuals and messaging. So those are kind of some of the other things that we're working on.